everyone, welcome back to the channel. And today I've got an incredible story which is almost 127 years old, but I believe that the story has power to change the mindset of all the upcoming generation of successful people, businessmen as well as future entrepreneurs. And why I'm telling so, because few days back I was reading a book named as Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in this book, for those who don't know about this book, let me tell you that this book contains the principle of all the successful people from the world at the time of that author. And it has taken 20 years for the author to write this book by manually interviewing those people. So when I was reading today this case study, I can totally correlate that how much correct that author has written. And I can assure you that if you set aside your just upcoming 5 to 10 minutes for this video, and if you listen to this story very carefully, you'll be learning the most basic fundamentals of all the successful business. And why I'm telling so? Because fundamentals never changes. Time passes away, but such as laws of motion never changes. The basic fundamental of a successful business has not changed at all in the past 200 years. So without any delay, let's dive in. So this is the story of none other than the legendary Godrej, the founder of India's most formidable conglomerate, Godrej Group. If you talk about their net worth, they have almost $32 billion of net worth, which is much more than the GDPs of many countries all around the world. Almost more than 60 countries have less GDP than their net worth. And if we talk about impact, every day nearly 1.2 billion people uses their product in any form, such as mosquito repellent, the good night which he uses, from lockers to almiras, and much more things. But let's go in year 1894. He was not a born businessman, not he started his career as a businessman also. He started his career as a lawyer. Freshly graduating from a law school in 1894, he started his career as a lawyer. But very soon, in just 1 year, he realizes that this field was not made for him at all, because the kind of manipulation that is required, he was not made for these things. And he left the job of a lawyer. Well, think that at the time, law was the most respected profession, and he left that job. And he came back to his hometown Mumbai in 1895 to work as an assistant to chemist shop. And there the idea is striking him that there is a dire need to revolutionize the Indian surgical equipments industry, because all the components were imported from the European countries, so there was a need to manufacture those equipments locally also. So he went to his father's friend. And why he didn't went to his father? Because he know that he will be taking money from his father. That will not be a loan, that is more of a kind of gift. He went to his father's friend, taking rupees 3,000 from there, and started manufacturing scissors, pincers and those things. But one problem came in future. The business went very well, everything was so much set up, he finally became successful, but one day business failed down, because he was printing the label of Made in India on those products, which British Indians don't likes. And what they want, that he should not print at all Made in India. But he can't trade his patriotism. The Ardeshir Godrej, he was so much patriotic in nature. That's why he finally closed his first venture, and he has to again start somewhere else. And as we say now, whenever failures come in your life, there is something better is always waiting for you. And this was the beginning of the Godrej Group. Finally, one day he was reading a newspaper and he saw a story that there was a theft in the Mumbai. Now he thought that why locks were not able to sustain those thefts, why thieves were why so much easily they are doing burglary, and locks are not capable enough to prevent those things. And from there he got the idea that Indian lock industry needs some revolution, because all the locks are very cheap quality and they are very easily breakable. And most of the good quality locks, they're not affordable by normal people, because they are generally imported from European countries. So they need to change this market also. So finally he went again to his father's friend and told about this idea. So his father's friend asked that, do you know that you're the only locksmith in the whole country, or there are others also? But he was confident that even if there are others also, they are not able to build a business, but I will be doing that thing. And from a 20-meter square area in Mumbai, all the components of a lock are indigenously, meticulously made just in that 20-meter square area. And from there he started his venture in the locks industry. And because of his entrepreneurship spirit as well as innovative ideas, he and his brother Firoz Shah Godrej was the first person in the world to do a patent of a springless lock. And very soon they all started exporting their locks to the European countries as well as, because the locks are so much good quality and affordable, and they were started dominating everywhere else out there. But his entrepreneurship spirit doesn't stop here. He find one more market gap in one more industry, and that was the lockers industry. Because there was a fire in a street in the Mumbai, and he observed one thing, that most of the expensive items were generally kept in lockers, but they were not safe. All got destroyed. So what is the meaning of a lock paying to a locker maker, a manufacturer, and why we are buying lockers? From there he got an idea, why don't we make a whole locker from just a single plate of steel? Without cutting into pieces and welding again, why don't we just remold that thing and make a much more sturdier and fire-proof locker? And that foresight actually seems very fruitful. But in year 1925, there was a huge fire incident in the Calcutta streets, and the people who used the Godrej lockers, their item was completely safe. And this incident spread like fire all around the India and solidified the position of Godrej as number one in the Indian industry. But if you think that Godrej were limited just to locks and lockers, their innovation was not just limited here. If you know, they were the very first persons in the world to create first vegetable soap in the world, named as Chabhi. Because coming from the Hindu religion, we know that we can't accept animal fat as well as tallow, and at that time all the soaps were made of animal fats and tallow, which our religion didn't accept it. So seeing the need of Indian peoples, they started working on finding one unique mixture solution to create soaps with vegetable oils, and they become successful. Even multiple people told them that you will not be able to do so, we have tried already, but they finally did and created the soap named as Chabhi. And that's why the Godrej peoples were so much respected by our freedom fighters such as Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi, and everyone else out there also. But the journey didn't stop here. Finally, 1928, the Ardeshir Godrej left the Godrej Group to his brothers, handed all the ownership to him, and he went to Nasik to try out his hand in farming ventures. That didn't went well, but still he has achieved a lot of things in his life. So the question is, what we have learned from this inspirational story of a successful businessman, coming from a lawyer field to becoming one of the richest and most successful businessmen, what we have got to learn. So I think the very first business lesson which I have learned from his story is relentlessly chase your dreams. If you think you are passionate about something, relentlessly chase it. Try to do as much better as possible. If you fail one time, try to fail better next time. And the second thing, which I think is very important, in understanding the market gaps, understanding the customer requirements much more better. Today, if you see, everyone is trying to set up a business, but those businesses are not sustaining. They are getting funding, but in few years, they are going to be getting bankrupt. We have just seen an example of Byju's and many other businesses and many other Indian unicorns. After valuing more than $1 billion, finally they again lost their title as a unicorn. And that's very important, is understanding that your customer should be satisfied from the quality of your products. And if you see each and every phase of Godrej Group, they have always focused on providing a quality product at an affordable price. And number three thing is, I think failures are everywhere. Failures are everywhere in each and every field. But what we should try whenever we fail, we should try to come back as soon as possible, and we should come back with a much more better approach and plan instead of weeping on a side. So that's all for today, folks. Hope you like the video. Do hit the like, share and subscribe button if you like the content, and follow me on Instagram and YouTube. Till then, keep hustling, keep growing, keep dreaming, and make your own path. This is Shubham signing off. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.